guys, it's RJ. Just calling to make sure you're doing all right. Saw your little video on Instagram. Sounds like you're suffering from a severe case of vaginitis. I suffer from that affliction from time to time. Trying to minimize it as much as possible.
Well, he ain't wrong.
It's been a hell of a ride, and the ride's not over yet, but I've been through a lot of injuries, and I'm not able to do a lot of the things that I want to do, and that's not even talking about, riding motorcycles as much as I'd want, or BMX or pump track. It's sleeping through the night without waking up 5 times in pain and trying to reposition pillows, and life has been challenging as I get older and things aren't healing, and it's just compounding. You compensate for one thing and the next thing hurts. It's been a long run. And I keep getting everyone, how are you doing emotionally or mentally or what? No, I'm fine. Like, I am in the best spot of my life. I got the best friends, the best sponsors, the best support group, but my body's always in pain. And it sucks not being able to play with my kids, jump on the trampoline, play soccer, ride bicycles or pump track with my wife. And I finally got to the point where I said, you know what? I'm gonna take some time and I've got to get my body healthy. And I started talking to friends and different people that have been through hell. Guys like, Rick Johnson, who I've always looked up to. He gave me some awesome advice on just how he retired and the injuries that he went through. And, talking to Rooftop about how he was just down and out and, with stem cells. And then you talk to Cowboy Cerone. And with Transcend, this guy he's got more energy, he's just more pumped up on life. And I've just been learning a lot and finally decided to take a little bit of time to get my life together. So thank you for everyone that's reaching out. Life is good. Do I regret a second of it? Absolutely not. It's been the most amazing journey ever. And it's only gonna get better from here, but mentally I just wasn't in the place that I needed to be. Halfway through the season, not the best time to stop. And everyone's like, why would you stop halfway through the year? And it's not what I want to do. It's not the position I wanted to put my team, my sponsors in. But 2 things really hit home. And one, I was gone for almost a month straight. And I came home and I had literally 1 day home. And it was the day that J.O.'s funeral. And stayed up, it was midnight, was watching that, after losing Ken Block, who was a life pillar, and Ron Meredith, who was another life pillar for me. And it's been tough. And when my daughter, my oldest, Addie, was crying and she said, Dad, just don't go. Could you just not leave? And I went, and that was 100 Acre Wood. We came up over a crest and I was getting my butt absolutely kicked by Brandon Semenuk, and I was trying to put in a good stage and do the best that I could. And we missed a tree at 130 by, no room. I got done the stage and I thought, it's not worth it. And the words of David Higgins talking about the day the rally industry lost Mark Lovell, it really rang true. And he said, Mark was talking to David right before they went and did that stage. And Mark said, you know what? I'm gonna finish out the year, but I just can't keep up with you guys anymore. And he goes, life is it's just not worth it for me, but I'm gonna finish out the year. And that was the last words that he really said. So I thought about it, and I told Ree, I said, look, I'm too hurt to train the way that I need to focus the way that I need to focus mentally. And I know that when that light turns green and we take off, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna try to win because it's what I do. But if there's any hesitation, that's when bad things happen. So I'm gonna try to get everything back healthy and go out there and be ready to not hesitate.
I am Mike Escamilla, and I'm 46 years old. I've been a professional BMX bike rider for about 30 some years, since the mid-90s. A lot of my injuries, like anybody else, it's everything from, I've had 6 knee surgeries, to broken ribs, to torn sheath, to shoulder separations, to to cut nerves, to broken ankles, broken legs, broken shoulders, broken wrists, broken hands, like everything you can think of, I've injured at some point in my life. I was at the point where I need 2 new knees, hips, and disc replacement in my back. And that just seemed like an overwhelming idea to get fixed. And I'll be honest with you, I felt defeated. You know, I'm not a person who sits and dwells on things too much, but it was beating me. I was waking up with the feeling that this can't be what life is gonna be.
Yeah, so the end of career, I mean, other than CTE and massive brain damage, both my wrists are fused together. You know, my shoulders are sore, but I never had shoulder surgery. My knees were always okay. I mean, I probably should have had several surgeries on my knees, but I just would fight through it and keep going. But my groin is probably the worst injury I've sustained. In my last fight, I threw a kick and ripped it and tore it, and that was it. That's when I knew, like, yep, we're old. The old rubber band, you know, when you get those rubber bands been on the sun and it's all cracked and it just breaks. That's how my body is now. Injury-wise, everything, full body soreness.
Travis and I have been very, very close friends since he was about 14. I met up in Canada. I was retired from racing motocross, which I really sucked at, and then started doing freestyle motocross kind of not too long after that, and I was a little better at that. Had a lot of fun, traveled the world, rode for factory KTM for many years, so we did it for like 20 years of beating the hell out of our bodies. I compound fractured my leg, my tib and fib 2 times, so both bones out of the skin, out of my motocross boot, into the dirt. And the second time I did it, which was about 3 months after the first time I did it, I wasn't supposed to be riding. I had a piece of wood duct taped to my leg inside my boot. I crashed. Travis looped back around, roosted sand all over me. I really wasn't doing it to take care of my body. I thought beer was actually a vitamin, and I took a lot of vitamins. So now I'd say I've spent the last decade trying to put myself back together. You know, that goes from everything from eating really healthy to supplementation and the right vitamins and understanding kind of what you put into your body is what you get out. And then my new favorite thing, which is stem cells. Went down to Costa Rica, researched a lot, and got injections in my left ankle, my right hip, my left shoulder, my neck, and my back, and then did 100 million stem cell injection through IV. And it really did change how my body felt. I mean, it really, really helped me so much. Overall, I feel great. Helped my shoulder a lot, helped my neck and my back. So I would suggest it if anyone's really, really hurting. Number one, working out, PT, supplementation, getting on the right program and getting the right food in your body. Number one, there's no magic pill. And then number two is, you know, looking into the stem cells and finding the right place.
So on my first trip, I got 170 million stem cells. I got them in my big toes, my ankles, both knees, both hips, both SI joints, and then 12 injections in my lower back. L4, L5, T11, 12, and a couple other ones, and the sets up and down. I was asleep during the procedure, so I'm not sure how painful it was afterwards. But when you wake up, you feel like you've been hit by a truck. But the pain goes away very quickly, and within days you're out of pain. You're just sore. But this is what I noticed: in 30 days, I was 100% pain-free. And what that meant was I was living in a world where I was pillows everywhere at night, waking up every hour on the hour just to get through the night. And in 30 days, I was realizing I was in no pain. I didn't need any pillows shoved in anywhere. And within just that time alone, my life had completely changed. I do know that stem cells are different for everybody. You could get your right knee and your left knee done, and they could heal. One could be better than the other one. That's just the way it is. So everything is a gamble, but to me, of the 70 or 80 people now that I've talked to that have done this, every single person that I've talked to, except for maybe one person, has an exponential growth and healing, and they're in a much better place than they were.
All right, we're here, Dr. Mark, stem cell doc. Duffy informed me that you can get stem cells at the top quality right here in the US. So we have Nate, who said his shoulder has been, how's your shoulder been? You tell the people.
My shoulder, I have a torn left rotator cuff right now. Pretty much I've had 2 surgeries on my right. It took 9 months apiece. You know, where I'm at in life and being hurt and working, and it's not working, you know? And it's like, I just need to get back to where I can be able to do all the things that I want to do. And, you know, being hurt like this and taking 9 months off, it's like, we never have 9 months off.
Phil was like, hey, I just shattered my arm, neck, back, everything. Like, I'd like to look into this. And Nate was actually at Pastrana this morning and said, I'm coming with, I have my MRIs here. I don't have time to take 9 months to do what I need to do, but I can't do what I'm doing now. So Phil, how are you doing?
So his shoulder sounds so fun, I decided to explode my shoulder as well. Broke off my humerus bone and shattered it into pieces, and so the whole shoulder just kind of exploded. But I just had a baby, and I really wanted to...
You had a baby?
Well, you know, it's 2024 now. Shoot, can't say that. So my wife and I just had a baby, and I had just gotten, like, start holding him and carrying around and really getting a connection, and then I went and exploded my shoulder. So now this arm goes up here, and this arm goes up here. So I'm really hoping to get this strong, spend some time with my kid.
So, and I'm actually coming back. Feel left hip has not, like, I haven't had to crawl to a chair or anything in the last 3 weeks since I had my first injection. So I'm thinking that's a positive. My left knee
I've seen you crawl a lot before. That is a positive.
I'm able to, I started doing some leg extensions and some leg press with the left leg. The right knee it still sucks. So I'm coming today for basically systemic, which is through an IV. And hopefully you get your shoulder.
I'm going right to that shoulder, get that thing back.
And Nate wanted to talk about potentially not taking 9 months off of work to see if this will work better than surgery, which you've already taken.
Yeah, the biggest problem I've seen is, like, and this is why both of my shoulders are messed up. I had surgery on this, and I went right back to work and overcompensated with this and blew my left one out. And now I'm just blowing this one out again. So I just think it's normal at this point, because, like, my whole life has been that, like, in pain, you just get, like, used to it. But yeah, my sleep's terrible. Like, you have to lay a certain way, pillows under stuff, and, like, if I roll over, I have a pillow under my, it's terrible. So
You dislocated your shoulder in bed, you said?
yes, shoulder comes out in bed, and that's no fun.
Not in a good way.
Yeah, not in a good way.
What you guys might think. You gotta take me out of these interviews.
I was at a nitro cross, and, you know, we're doing promotion. I'm trying to drive. I'm trying to go over, you know, all the data, and I'm a zombie. I'm just worn out, and then trying to smile and be there for the fans that come out. And I look over at Cowboy Cerone, and he's bouncing around like all nimbly bimbly like, and big old smile, just fired up on life. And I went over to him like, well, how are you so motivated? How are you so energetic? How do you look like you could, you know, still be in a fight and be fine after all the injuries you've had? And he said, man, you gotta go get blood work done by Transcend. I took Cowboy's advice, got blood work done, sent it to the doctors at Transcend, and really the sky's the limit depending on your budget and what you want to accomplish. I know Cowboy's got a lot of stuff going on, but for me, they just said, hey, your body's in limp mode. You know, this is nutritionally what you can do. Peptides will help bring up your energy levels. Testosterone basically is your body's defense mechanism. When you hit your head hard enough, it says, nope, you're not going to be dumb anymore. We're going to keep you nice and mellow. And for the sports that I do, I need to be back on a level playing field so I have a chance. And this has definitely helped elevate my aggressions, helped elevate my energy, and, you know, I'm excited to get back out there. If you want your motivation back, get yourself to the normal levels so that you are functioning mentally and physically to the best you possibly can. I had tennis elbow for a year and a half, 4 weeks in right now, just taking kind of the vitamin program that they got me on. My tennis elbow is gone. I'm able to do push-ups, I'm able to do pull-ups, I'm able to start building some muscle. You know, obviously there's certain joints that need a little bit more, and that's why I started looking into, after talking to Rooftop, I started looking into stem cells, and it fixes stuff that was pretty much unfixable.
I've had people my whole career try and offer me steroids and offer me enhancement drugs that would help you healing, and I never want to do it because I was worried about, but what if they catch it and I get in trouble, or what if they take it away and I no longer have it, then I'm not that animal I was. Well, now I'm retired, and a company called Transcend reached out to me like, we got you. And on all the peptides and just the TRT and all the different things I'm taking, man, I feel like I'm 21 again. You literally feel younger, stronger, faster. You know, when you start your career, whether it be baseball, football, soccer, and all you want to do, your mind is make it to the big show, right? All the sacrifices, all the hours and the miles on the road and the time in and the anguish of can I get there, and then you make it. And then it hits you so fast, like, holy crap, I'm in the big show, I made it. And then you don't enjoy the journey. I see a lot of people just get caught in this whirlwind and they don't realize like they're there, we made it, we're here. So they don't enjoy that journey, but that journey, that tornado, that run has an end. And as you start, it could be a week, it could be 2 years, it could be like me, I got 15 years out of it. Towards the end, when I could see the end of the tunnel, I had to start gearing up my life. Like, what's gonna happen when I stop this? Where's my next step? What do I do next? And you know, what's the number one way you know? You don't love it anymore. So all you sports people out there, you know, you go out and throw the football, you go out and do backflips like Travis, you do jump out of airplanes, you throw a rugby ball, whatever sport it is that you love it. It drives you, you're excited. And when you lose that, that's when it's time, because the options of getting injured are far more, especially the guys on the motorsport side. If you don't love it and crave and not pushing the limits, I think that's dangerous, right? I think if he just carefree, like, I don't want to do this. The cameras are here, I gotta go throw this, but I don't want to. I think that's when injuries occur, and I think that's when it's time to hang it up. So for all you people who are wondering, how do I start? Well, you fall in love with something and you chase that dream until you can't chase it anymore. You make it to the big dream, you love it, but when you don't love it anymore and you're no longer thriving and interested in pushing the limits, it's time to bow out.
Being an athlete and retiring, I think in my head, I retired about 12 years ago when it was tough. I knew my body was failing, and I also had a sense of, if I'm not Mike the bike rider, then who am I? And I think that was probably in my head the biggest battle I was facing, so my body sort of fell second to that. I think if you're retiring and you have injuries, I think you be proactive. I think you look into alternative medicines like stem cells and red light therapy and PMF machines and all these things that are out there that maybe your regular physical therapist or doctor might not know anything about. People who are in pain every day and are living with it and they're just smiling through it understand how dire it is. And so we want to help. I went from really thinking I was never gonna ride my bike again, never gonna snowboard again, never gonna really play with my kid too much, and just really be in pain every day, to within months doing all those things. And on top of it, not even thinking about pain anymore, which just made me a much happier person.
Maybe it's concussion, maybe it's old age, but at the end of the day, brain fog has been an issue recently where, yeah, I feel okay, but maybe it's lack of sleep. Maybe it's because of the injuries. Maybe it's because I'm not as physically active as I was because I'm too hard to do it. But started the Transcend and really talking to Cowboy Cerone. I was against it at first. I'm like, look, that was a Marine. It's like, just work harder. Stop making excuses. Stop saying you can't do stuff. Just go do it. But at a certain point, your body gives up, and having more energy has been absolutely amazing. Even on less sleep, through the pain, I'm able to wake up, and before the kids get up, I can go to the pool or go do, 15, 20 miles on the spin bike or the road bike. And this is stuff that is helping my life through the stem cells. My knee right now, that's been almost 4 weeks, and 2 days in, the nerve pain that was absolutely killing me, that was making it impossible to sleep, is completely gone. I'm hoping that it's gonna work for the hip. I still have a lot of hip issues, and I think that's gonna be a bigger problem that may not be able to be fixed by stem cells. But I'm moving towards the right direction. I want to be out there for the fans. I want to be rallying. I want to be having fun at Pastrana Land. Everything that we're doing through Channel 199 is about bringing more friends, more family closer to live a healthier lifestyle. And this is a huge start for me. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for allowing us to share some things that'll hopefully help a lot of you in the same positions in the future. And stay tuned, because we'll keep telling you how things are going, and if it's helping or if it's not. Right now, I feel like a whole new human being that I did a month ago. And I hope it only gets better from here.
Son, I love thrills like a middle school crush. If I can't die, there ain't no adrenaline rush. Watch me fly by through the sky on my dirt bike, repping 199, cause I'm coming in clutch. And like